Hello everyone, nice to see you, long time no see. Let's start this video with a question that I wish you answer for yourself honestly. Have you ever felt stressed? Have you ever felt overwhelmed, stressed, or burnout from saying yes to everything? When someone asks you something, you say yes and you immediately have this burning feeling like I should not say, I have so much things to do, like how can I make it? So let's dive into today's subject. Well, today's subject is how to set boundaries to make your life more happy, more fulfilled, and have less stress in life. Boundaries are how you allow people to treat you, how you want to be treated, or how you treat others. And actually, it's more like respecting your time and making everyone know about it. It makes your life easier. What I have realized when I understood more about boundaries, it has given me so much peace. The freedom that you get from saying no. People don't judge you if you say no. They ask you something, for example, at work. I know it's kind of hard to say no when your boss is just coming to you and ask, hey, can you stay longer? Hey, can you do this extra day, extra shift? We really need a worker. I know it's hard, even if it's very important to do, or you have a family fest or a birthday or anything. And it's okay to take extra work if you can, but if it's giving you pressure and it makes you stress, it's good to think, can I do it? Should I do it? What I say no to if I say yes to this. It's okay to say no. It's very normal. Your boss is not gonna hate you. You just simply go to ask someone else. So you should not stress so much about saying no at work or actually in any situation, because things just move on. The task move on to someone else. It was very mind shifting when I found out this thing about boundaries. I just found out that I didn't understand what boundaries are. I didn't know that it's possible to set them and that people can actually respect them, respect your own time, your own boundaries, your possibilities, what you can do. I used to say yes to so many things that I didn't actually feel pleasure. I felt so bad actually because I wanted to please the people. I was kind of this people pleaser when I was younger. I'm sure this is very common, and especially in a country like mine. It's understandable because we all want to be part of something. We all want to belong in the groups. We all want everyone around us to be happy. But what about ourselves? Because it's fact, when you say yes to something, you say no to something else. You say no to your own peace. You say no to your work. You say no to your partner. Or you say no to your friend. It's always shifting. Whoever you say no, you say yes. You say yes to someone. You say no to something else. It's good to think where you want to actually put your energy and your time. Boundaries can be emotional, mental, physical, and even digital. Digital is, for example, you set limit about your texting. It's okay to text every day, but not multiple times in an hour. Not this crazy spamming. Don't send 10 messages in 1 hour. Of course, we are not always available. Don't do chatting in this hour that you really have to focus or do some editing or whatever you do with your phone, or better if you can work with your laptop, but it's not always the case. Set boundaries, like how much you can chat, or you want someone to send you, or that you don't want to call at this time. Around these corners, you don't want calling text messages after 8 p.m. That's also digital boundary. No callings early morning, and make like kind of different time limits when you are available. This emotional boundary. We have different ways to show our emotions and different ways to handle emotions, because we are all individual humans, we are all different. But emotional boundary is like you separate your feelings from others. You recognize that you're not responsible for other people's emotions, their feelings, how they feel about your boundaries that you set, because they are your boundaries. You don't need to care what other people say about your boundaries, because this helps you and makes your life more easy and more happy. But it's also affect in the good phase for others. Maybe at the first, when you set your boundaries for someone, they might not understand it. If you get used to, because setting boundaries is a process that you're gonna have to learn, because the first it might be weird and hard. Someone's reaction might be like, oh, but you have always stayed late for work, you have always done extra shift, you have always came with me, or you have always been drinking together, like why don't you don't want to drink? Is that you don't need to explain, just say, I don't want that, I don't like that anymore. I used to, but I don't do that anymore. It doesn't make me feel good. We can have fun with and another ways than drinking. Or about the job example is that, yeah, but I cannot do it that time, so I'm busy, I can't always take these shifts or stay longer because I have another life. You don't need to say of course that, but just say like you're not busy, you're busy at the time. You can. One reason that it might be hard to set boundaries is because you have this people pleaser kind of I don't know if I can call it nature, personality. I think it's better to say character. We want to be part in the group and we want to be accepted, and usually we might change our personality in the way to settle in a specific group, for example, or at work you have to be another person and you always have to please others, and maybe you don't want to share your opinions, real opinions about something, because you're afraid that you get rejected, or that they don't like you, or that they're gonna left you out from the group, or you always want to have this happy environment energy around, so you say yes to everything. Whatever people ask you, say yes, even though you already have a lot of workload or you don't want to do it. I think it's very common for specific girls, as I mentioned earlier, or in a very young age. I think as we grow older, we start to have our own mind and understand that anyone else's opinion doesn't really matter except yours, and we understand that time is limited and time goes fast. It feels like summer is almost over, so time really goes fast. And I was sick for a very long time, so I'm like, time has been running out too quickly. But I'm excited about autumn. My life was very stressful. I had so much things going on in my life already. I was studying, I was working, I was training the competition, then of course some family things, see friends I was dating, I was in a bad relationship. I know it's hard because we start to think we get rejected or people won't accept us after we say no to specific things or things that people want or ask from us. I started to become very passive. When you see, for example, someone calling you and you don't actually want to answer because you have this feeling like, okay, again, they're asking something and I can say no, I just ignore. It's actually pretty passive-aggressive behavior. I admit it was in past because I didn't understand about these boundaries or how to speak out about my boundaries, how to make people understand my boundaries. Don't overload yourself. It's good to reflect what are my boundaries and what boundaries I need to get things done to move my project forward or have better relationship, and how can you have more time for yourself, because you're the most important project in your life, so you have to take care of yourself and your limit and what you're capable of. We are not robots. We can't be working 24/7, and it's okay to make boundaries for family. I've been having this problem because I think it's the hardest thing to set boundaries is in the family. But if something is stressing you out or giving you energy, because I've been on this era, I want to protect my energy because a lot of things happens, and I had very sick period where I have to like kind of stop and pause my life. I just had to focus on my own health, so I have to say no to everything. It's been a few months. I really took this time for just the rest and having time for myself and study some things like these boundary things, noticing and understanding what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. Things that you don't tolerate and what makes you more stressed and gives more negativity in your life, and understand what has a positive impact in your life. And a sense of safety, a sense of respect for yourself and everyone around you or someone that you're conflict with or interact with. And also one very interesting reason why some people don't set boundaries, I think that's the reason for me why I didn't really have boundaries, is because I never see anyone else setting boundaries and I didn't know what are boundaries. Of course, when I think about it now, we have been setting boundaries since we were kids. Like, for example, if you eat, your parents cook, and you don't like the food, you don't want to eat salads. Push the salad away, that's your boundaries, you're not gonna eat that. That's your boundaries that you set. Or that you don't want to hug your Uncle John or Auntie Adele. That's the boundaries that you set when you were kids. How your parents might reject these boundaries you set is, but because their auntie feels so sad and that's so bad behavior, I'm not gonna talk to you never. Or, okay, you don't eat at all. Okay, I don't respect your boundaries. You don't eat food. That's one way we used to do that. But anyways, to make these boundaries, maybe you're the one who's the first person that encouraged other people to make this step to set boundaries. Like I didn't know in the past like what boundaries are, how to set them, how they affect me, how they affect others. But now that I have grown, I have set my boundaries, I have said no to things that doesn't serve me, and I make this video. So I'm giving you these informations and understanding with my knowledge what are boundaries and how to set them and how they can help you. So you can be for someone this first example of how to set boundaries. You can teach them, you can help people to set limits in their life, how to be treated. You can help people that to be treated right. And I know in culturally it might be hard in some situations. Have you seen boundaries in your life in the past, like your families, your friends, you see people like make the change? Second thing why people don't set boundaries is because of the shame or scared to speak up, to step out on the spotlight, like I said in my past video where I was talking about fear to be seen. The same thing reflected that you're ashamed, you're scared to be rejected. Because as they say, rejection is protection, and it's good. It might have very good impact if you say no to something. You're protecting yourself and your energy, and you just have to do it anyway for your own sake. So start to kind of project and process these emotions that happens in you and understand like why are you ashamed of, and what happens if you do it, and what happens if you don't set these boundaries and do it, because we never get time back. Time is going forward and maybe you don't get the same chance, so you speak up now or you stay silent. Just like Stacy at the altar. Perhaps you seek balance, how you are another person, maybe your partner or your friend, spend time together. So that's also one thing, like where you still think about your boundaries or how you can make this possible, and what's the activities that you both want to do, or activities that you definitely don't want to do. Do you want to travel more? How do you can travel more? And if you're living together with someone, of course, it's good that you have talk already. What is your kind of lifestyle that you want to have? Does your partner have the same, or what you want to? How you can bring balance in your home? So, if you're still thinking like why we should really set boundaries, well, I think there's many reasons, and I think some of them resonate with you more, or you start to realize that you need actually boundaries in this area. One reason why we need boundaries is because it helps our mental health. It protects our mental health, physical health, and also our self-awareness of things, that we understand like what things drain our energy, what things give us energy, and kind of like what we need more to get more, to do more, what we have to reduce or leave or stop doing. And it's important to really reflect like how do you feel in different situations, because this awareness helps you to understand your own self. And also it helps to set healthy relationship, because it's essential to have a healthy boundaries and healthy communication between one another to get along, work together, have a good time together, and understand like our behavior, or likes or dislikes or habits, or because we are all different individuals, and what other things see good or like to do might be different than you see yourself or doing. Everyone has different tastes of food. It also helps in relationship to resentment, a feeling of burning out, and it respects it put respect on each other's needs, like what you need and your partner needs. Because as we know, we are different, we have different tolerance of the things we can stand or do, as there's kind of introvert, extrovert, like different kind of personalities. So it helps us to understand and makes everyone around us to feel comfortable. And I think one big reason also to set boundaries is when we are older, younger, we have more responsibilities, we have more work. It also helps to reduce stress and overload. So we have better time management, we have better control in our time, in our actions, in our work. And personally, for me, when I started to realize these boundaries and understanding my own limitations, my own energy levels, when do I feel more energized and how I feel more energized and what things are kind of taking away more energy or makes me stressful. And making these boundaries have given me more like stress relief and have given me more peace of mind, that I don't like overthink or overwork, and I know that I have to rest. It have had very huge impact on my own well-being generally, and also that my friends also know my availability and that I do care about them and I see them when I can, and they understand too that they can set their own boundaries and we do something fun later when we all have time. I know in adulthood it's kind of hard, like when you have free time, your friend doesn't have free time. But really think of like what causes you like this enormous stress that actually doesn't give you anything. And of course it's good to help a friend, but of course you cannot put aside your own life. Like if you have something and if you do help someone, if it's always like asking you help but doesn't help return, it's also understandable. Like, okay, you cannot do everything. A relationship shouldn't be one-sided. There's also two person or one person, but you got the points. Like it's good to help people, but also know your own limitations and how it makes you feel. Talk about the dealing with pushbacks, the common challenges and resistance that we also went through in past in a few chapters on this video. After you have set your boundaries, we start to understand also the other side of the view, like a boss or a friend who have got used always asking you help, or a family member who always needs support and help, how to set boundaries, how to deal with that emotionally, because I know it's very stressful to set boundaries, and especially to a family member, because that's kind of been a big challenge for me, and I still have working on it, but it's a personal growth and it's a process to go through, and it's actually never easy to say no, but it gets easier in time, and you just have to like work with your emotions and just stand behind your work, and also remember your well-being, that you're important and your peace is important as well. Many people feel guilty of saying no, especially at work, because you are like got used to be this good worker who is always available, always working. People don't hate you if you say no. It's totally normal, because there's situations they say no. You have to know that they're the same people and you're all just people, and they have situations that they have to say no. Maybe better opportunities, or maybe it's a fear of conflict. They're afraid you start to have some kind of beef, some kind of fight. Best of all, stay firm, stay calm, tell how you feel, tell your boundary, slow and steady, so that they understand that it's serious, that you really mean it. Remember why you set the boundary in the first place, why are you setting this boundary? You have to just listen to yourself. You have to state your feeling with the presence of I, and express how you feel, why the boundary is important to you. For instance, I will overwhelm when I take too much tasks. Simple. Say I feel overwhelmed if I take too much tasks. Now my workload is overloaded and that I can move this project forward. I cannot take anything else. I finish this one and then I can continue to take more, or we can discuss about the next coming projects. Or you can also ask helping hands for this project they're taking, or expand more time for it, that you finalize first this one, because it's bad when you have too many tasks to do at the same time, because that's problem for me. I'm doing so many things at the same time that also for me it's my time consciousness is like, where do you even start? And you start to be frustrated if you do that, and I have too much work. So just have to say like, I feel overwhelmed that I have too many tasks has to do. So I just simply cannot take more. And that's it. And other is self-compassion. Understand that it's important to listen to your own need. It's okay to prioritize your own self and your own needs and your own time. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's not selfish to say no. It's not selfish to set boundaries. Actually, one of the most unselfish things that you can do for yourself. You have to take care of you that you can take care of others. And of course, seek support. Talk with a friend, talk with a family member or someone who understands, or a therapist. Really good for your mental health. Talk with someone about everything, because you cannot share everything with your friend and family. Sometimes you have to reminding others. You have to remind others about your boundaries. Crossing again, you have to remind them like, this doesn't work with me. Let me talk about this before. Stay consistent with communicating your boundaries. Summarize for all the positive outcomes that comes if you set boundaries. I think you have started to think now about your own boundaries and what's important for you, and reflect in your past and now where you need them. So I will make a summary about the positive outcome. I'm sure you get something already in your mind that what would be positive impact for you. But let's start. The first, improve communication with others, more understanding of their behavior, they choose, their nature or their needs, more understanding with partner, greater sense of greater understanding of each other, feeling safety and secure, avoiding unhealthy and toxic relationships, and find the good and right one to surround yourself with. Better self-esteem and confidence as you get things done and you start to understand your needs better. You get things done in time and without pressure or stress in your life. Most importantly, better time management, improve your health and well-being. And it also leads to more fulfillment now that you don't have so much stress or overload, you don't have too much work or pressure from people, when people respect you and your time and your boundaries and have actually more joyful time with you. Just imagine how your life would be if you had these healthy boundaries. So write all things down, starting with boundaries that you need or boundaries that you're missing. And so list down things that you think you need boundaries, and list things of their benefits and start to work with them. Practice saying no and start to practice self-compassion. I hope this tips been helpful to you. If you find this video helpful, we're gonna have more subject about personal growth. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Share your experiences and everything in the comments. I would love to hear from you. So thanks for watching and see you in another video.